Oh, hey guys. Morning, afternoon, or good evening. In my case, I'm making this in the morning. So, good morning. So anyway, the reason I'm making this video is because, well, I love food. I really love food. Like, food and cooking is a real passion of mine. And I just want to share this love with you. You know? And a lot of people out there say that cooking's hard, cooking's a hassle, but in all honesty, it can be much simpler than you think, and even a lot of fun. So I just want to share these recipes with you, quick little how-tos on how to get started in your kitchen, and quick little recipes that you can do at home, so you can enjoy food together. I'm probably gonna cut that out. I guess it's staying in. Oh well. So anyway, I'm just blabbering on. I'm not sure whether these videos are going to be a regular thing, or they're probably not going to be a regular thing. It honestly depends on how much time I have, and yeah, or how these videos go. Alright, hope you guys enjoy, and let's get cooking. I forgot the salt. You're gonna need salt on this one. Oh, and the pepper. You're gonna need the pepper. Alright, let's get cooking. Oh my god, I forgot you guys were in there. Oh, sorry. There you go. Alright, so right now what we want to do is grab ourselves a cutting board. Now, make sure that this is just for meat, alright? Because you don't want raw meat and vegetables and fruits mixing together, because that's going to be cross-contaminated, and trust me, you wouldn't want that. So right now we're just grabbing a kitchen towel, and that's where we're going to place our wet chicken. It's wet because it came from the fridge, and it's nice and defrosted, but it's still a little bit moist, so we're going to pat that dry just to take away the excess moisture. Alright, so now that we've removed all of the excess moisture from the chicken, what we're gonna do is grab a piece of food grade plastic and put it inside. You can buy these kinds of plastic for like really cheap in grocery stores. You can also use the Reynolds resealable ones, but those are a bit too expensive. You can even use those parchment papers. But as of now, I'm just using this because it's a lot cheaper and that's what's available. You grab your mallet and you make sure you use the flat side, because if you use the pointy side, it's going to damage the chicken. We're just going to lightly pound the chicken. And if you don't have a mallet, you can even use a rolling pin or anything with a flat surface, or anything you can use to pound your meat with. Please don't take that the wrong way. Anyway, so we're just gonna make sure that our chicken is nice and even. There aren't any big bumps. And the reason we want to make it nice, flat, and even is because we want as much contact with the pan as possible for the chicken's sake. It's to make sure that the chicken cooks evenly and you can get a lovely Maillard reaction going. The Maillard reaction is basically the browning that happens when you fry things in a pan. Hey, you learned something new.
Alright, so what we're gonna do now is just basically cut off some of the unwanted parts, things you don't like cartilage and bones and stuff like that. Just gonna clean the chicken up nice. Alright, so now that we've fixed up our chicken, we can move on to the seasoning. All you really need is some salt and pepper. I'm using some iodized salt, but you can use any salt you want. You can use sea salt, kosher salt. It's just that that's what was available where I live, so that's what I'm using. Make sure you don't skimp on the salt, because chicken is generally tasteless, so you're really gonna wanna up that seasoning to up that flavor game. Yep, be generous. And me, I like a lot of pepper on mine, but trust me, you're probably gonna need a lot more pepper than you think you do. Because salt's gonna give you flavor, but pepper is what's gonna give you that kick that you want. Now all you need to do is just rub all that seasoning onto the chicken. Oh, the board went away there. And make sure you don't waste any of that seasoning that splattered onto the board, Grab that up. Don't want to waste any flavor, right? After doing all the seasoning, stop and let it rest. Let that chicken relax. Let all those flavors get to know each other. And most of all, let that salt suck out any of the remaining excess moisture that's still in the chicken. Because seriously, you're gonna want that salt suck out any of that excess moisture so that the chicken cooks really properly on the hot pan. After we've let that chicken rest for a bit, we're just going to give that chicken one last pat down. Now check out all that excess moisture that the salt was able to wring out. Make sure you get both sides, just to be extra sure. Because trust me, you can't be too sure when it comes to food. Alright, so now that the chicken's all nice and dry, it's ready for the pan. Alright, so the pan I'm going to be using today is a stainless steel pan. Now I'm using a stainless steel pan compared to a non-stick one because it retains heat a lot better, so it can give the chicken a much better sear compared to what a non-stick pan can. Hey, that rhymed! Anywho, probably a better pan to give sears to meats is probably a cast iron pan, because that's the best thing at retaining heat and it's tough as heck. But I don't have one of those, so I'm gonna stick with this one. C'est la vie, work with what you've got, right? So once your pan is nice and hot, we're going to put in our oil. Now I'm using olive oil, but you can use other oils like coconut oil, sunflower oil, whatever you prefer. Now your pan is nice and hot if that oil just slides right off of it. Because if it was cold, instead of just sliding off, it's just going to go really slowly, like oozing down. Alright, so now that you've coated the whole bottom of the pan with oil, you're just going to slowly put in your chicken breast. Now make sure when you put it on, it's from in to out. Put it on away from you, just so that you don't have the oil splashing towards you. And hot oil on your skin, trust me, it's kinda gonna hurt. Now, once you place in that chicken, you're gonna want it to gently sizzle. Not an aggressive sizzle, just a nice, gentle sizzle to give it that beautiful browned crust. Once the chicken is cooked halfway or 3/4 of the way through, that's when you flip it. And just one quick motion, get right under that chicken and flip. Now you can tap it a little bit on the top just to make sure that you're getting as much contact with the pan as possible. Then after you flip it, don't touch it again and just give it a few minutes to cook and brown. Once that chicken is nice and cooked through, we're going to take it right out of the pan and put it on a separate plate. And we're just going to let that chicken rest. That's right, rest it again so that it has time to soak up all of the juice that it's excreting. And trust me, all of that amazing flavor is right in that juice. Alright, so while the chicken is resting, we're going to be making the pan sauce. Now, as you can see from the bottom of the pan, there's some brown bits stuck on it. Now, that's called fond, and there's a lot of flavor in that. What you want to do is grab some wine, in my case, it's rice wine, and just pour it into the pan. Now, what this is going to do is take that fond and incorporate all of that flavor into the liquid. You can use any wine you want, to be honest. You can use Shaoxing, which is a Chinese cooking wine, red wine, white wine, dry sherry, have at you. Once you've cooked a bit of the alcohol out, we're going to add a second liquid. Now you can just add water, but in my case, I'd rather add stock, which I had left over. Now, this specifically is dashi stock, which is basically made with katsuboshi and a bit of seaweed. It's a Japanese kind of stock, and it's just a bomb of umami. So, I kind of wanted to mix that in. Alright, so once the liquid's reduced down a bit, we're going to be adding some starch to thicken it up. Now, you don't add the starch itself into the sauce because it's going to create clumps. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a slurry, which is basically the starch, plus a little bit of water. Now, after putting in the starch, what you're going to want to do is just basically keep stirring it until it thickens up real nicely, until it feels like a nice sauce or gravy, if you prefer. Now, if it's still a little too thin, just add a bit more slurry. And if it's too thick, just add a little bit more liquid. In my case, it was stock. You could use water. So you know your sauce is basically done when you can run the back of your spoon against it and creates this beautiful splitting. This nice little saucy or gravy-like consistency is what you're looking for. And once you've done all of that, all you need to do is plate it, sit back, relax, and enjoy this amazing, delicious creation that you've made. Now, if you've done all the steps correctly, what you're gonna end up with is not a dry, tasteless piece of chicken, but a moist, delectable, and absolutely delicious piece of chicken breast with an amazing sauce that comes with it. And if it didn't turn out right, well, you can always cook it again next time and get even better at it. That's the fun thing about cooking. You can try it over and over again, and you get better every time you do it. So just keep cooking and keep enjoying every single second of it.
Whew. And that is basically how you make some delicious chicken with a nice little pan sauce to boot. Now, pairs really well with chicken. I mean, you already have all the flavors in the pan, so why not take advantage of it, right? Anyway, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed what we made today. I hope you guys think it's delicious. And don't forget, sometimes it's not all about the food, but most of the time it's all about the person that you're making it for. Be it for a loved one, friends, family, or most especially yourself. So hope you guys keep cooking and see you next time. If there is a next time. You know what? Let's just see how it goes. Anyway, bye.